How's it going, everyone? It's Johnny Beard here with another episode of the Streamer Stories podcast. My guest today is someone I've been watching on YouTube for a few years now, an absolutely amazing content creator. I've got your favourite son here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm very good, my friend. I'm very, very good. Very excited to talk to you. I can't wait. It's going to be
Oh
amazing.
yeah, me too.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So, yeah, well, I know who you are. I've been following your channel for, I think about two, maybe 3 years now. Goodness me. I love what you do. But do you want to explain, maybe introduce yourself, explain what type of content you do for anyone that's not familiar?
Yeah, I make. I'm your favorite son. I make long form analysis videos about video games, generally video game series, and sometimes I play some bad video games too, and talk about them. Try to dig through some trash and find some good stuff. Hopefully, yeah, that's about it.
It's amazing. I love that series, by the way. I love that you do that. Well, you've done a bit of both, haven't you? Like, oh, I'm getting straight into it. I can't help myself. But like, in terms of like, you've done like some of the highest rated like underbelly stuff, and you've done some really like these are games that are terrible, apparently, haven't you? So
Yeah, yeah. I like both sides. You know, I start the videos now by saying like I love playing bad games because I do. I really enjoy it. It's there's something special and interesting about something that just doesn't work. You know what I mean?
amazing, amazing. I'll try and talk a bit more about that later on. But no, I should be trying to start at the beginning. I can't help myself. Going ahead. But yeah, let's talk about childhood then. So have you been playing games like your whole life? And like, what was your like some of the like the earliest memories of like maybe not even playing the game, like just seeing it for the first time, perhaps?
Earliest memories. I think, yeah, I have been playing games my whole life. The earliest thing I can really remember, I think, is the Super Nintendo, and because my sister had a Super Nintendo, and we used to play it a lot. And I think the earliest game maybe was either Eye of the Beholder for SNES or Turtles in Time.
Right.
We used to play those games a lot together. I used to play Eye of the Beholder a lot, but it was one of those games. There was a lot of games I have memories of when I was a kid that, I didn't complete them at all. Maybe I just replayed the first stage over and over again because I couldn't
Yeah.
really figure out what to do. But I just sort of liked picking it up, maybe watching the intro cutscene, like messing around until I died a few times, and then just uh, going away and coming back.
That's so good. I remember, I don't know who it was now, but I saw a YouTube video literally on that topic, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. They were talking about like the beginning of like San Andreas, GTA San Andreas, and that
Yeah,
basically just that introduction mission with CJ. They was like, oh screw it, I'm just going to go to the beach, and they spent so much time on the
yeah,
beach, and that becomes almost like in their mind a game, just that in itself.
yes,
I love that
yeah.
concept.
Yeah. I mean, I did that with a lot of games too. I remember like Metal Gear Solid was a specific one too when I was young because I didn't have any concept of like what I was supposed to do. So that little like first area where you're sort of like sneaking around the guards and you're supposed to get to the elevator. I would just like run around there and
Yeah.
get caught and trigger an alert over and over again. Um, yeah. There's a lot of games like that.
I think it's fascinating. Like, I mean, we can probably talk a bit about it later on, but in terms of like what's different between now and then, but like the lack of tutorialing, should we say, for lack of better English, made that possible then compared to now. I think it's a crazy thing to think about.
Yeah, it's kind of hard for me to conceptualize, but like I would imagine like a kid now is, can probably like complete games or at least get a decent bit through them because, they're holding your hand a bit more. And I think developers probably keep that in mind now, I would imagine, is like they are marketing towards kids as well, so kids need to be able to figure out how to play the game.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Did you so did you play some multiplayer turtles with your sister back in the day?
Yeah, yeah, we definitely played that. I have some memories of like, it's so weird that like my first memories are of Nintendo systems because I was not a Nintendo kid at all after that. Like, I just never played Nintendo after the SNES. Um, but yeah, like that. Some fond memories of most of my memories as a kid are from the PS1. Silent Hill, Metal Gear, Tekken 3. My dad played a lot of games when I was a kid. Like he was a huge into video games, and his cousin, they were both super into video games, but I feel like I got a wide breadth of genres because like my dad was super into like shooters and like, fantasy games, like RPGs, and then his cousin was really into like JRPGs, like weird. He was always playing like weird JRPGs and like Metal Gear, stuff like that. Like more, I guess, subversive games. So I feel like I was just always surrounded by games. He was always playing. They were both always playing games. My sister was playing games. Like she loved like Kingdom Hearts and stuff.
Nice.
My mom was playing like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot and stuff. So it was just video games all the time. So I was just like I was playing everything. I was like whatever you guys are playing, I'm playing that.
That's so fascinating. I always get mildly jealous when I hear about gaming families like that. Like I was the gamer in my house. I didn't. My parents
Yeah.
barely, if anything, ever played games. I mean, some of my siblings kind of did, but I was like always like the person in the family to do so. So that's so wonderful to hear, man. That's so good.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, they all abandoned it after,
Ah,
like by the time I was in like middle school. Well, except for my dad. My dad still plays video games, still now, and he did even when I was in middle school and high school. We still played games together and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like I think I was the one that like really latched onto it. And I think that era of like everybody playing games maybe only lasted for like a little bit, and then it was me sort of like forcing everyone to play
yeah.
games after that. I was like, come on, let's play video games.
Did they if they lost interest, but then did like the Nintendo Wii always comes to mind when I think about like sometimes family time coming back together. Like that was a really fascinating time in history, wasn't it? Did that occur to you and your family?
No, not really, because we just didn't. We really did not have. I played Nintendo systems throughout my childhood, but it was like at friends' houses and stuff. Like we just never had Nintendo after that. Never had Xbox. It was always PlayStation, PS1, PS2, PS3. Like just the whole time. It was just never. I don't know. My dad just did not like. He did not like Nintendo or Xbox. He was PlayStation. He loved PlayStation. That was the king. So we stayed PlayStation.
Can't argue, to be honest with you. I do love my PlayStation. I mean, PlayStation One as well. What a trove of games to choose from there. That's for sure. So,
Fantastic system.
so you mentioned Silent Hill. You mentioned Metal Gear. What's some of your favorite PlayStation One memories then?
PlayStation 1 memories. Yeah, those are the big ones, like Tomb Raider, uh, Soul Reaver,
Oh,
Blood Omen, Legacy of Kain, all those games. Tekken 3 is a huge one, which is kind of odd for me because I don't talk about fighting games, and I don't like fighting games. I
no.
really don't enjoy them. I'm not very good at them. I suck at them. But Tekken was so like I latched onto that series so much. I think it was just the style, the weird characters, the story in particular. I always loved the like Mishima Bloodline story. And Tekken 3, me and my dad played a ton when I was a kid. I made a video about strategy guides earlier this year, and I talked about how I had a Tekken 3 strategy guide, which we used so much that the binding wore off.
Wow.
And it was
Yeah.
just a stack of pages. Like you had to make sure they were in order
Yeah.
because it was literally just a stack of pages that we kept in this like little end stand.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I've got really fond memories of Tekken 3. I mean, I do like my Tekken, but Tekken 3 was always my main as well. I did see Slash play a little bit of Tekken 2. Like I remember being fascinated with like Devil and Angel and stuff like that. Really, but really was Tekken 3 for me. Like oh yeah, like Jin Kazuma,
So good.
Boomerang, Ogre.
So many good characters. Like yeah, Ogre, True Ogre. Or what is it? It's True Ogre,
Yeah,
right? Is
yeah,
that what it
yeah.
is? Yeah. The soundtrack. I mean, all the Tekken soundtracks are amazing, but Tekken 3 is like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
so
used
good.
to love playing Team Battle. I'm annoyed that the most recent Tekken games don't have Team Battle. Like just playing
Yeah.
8v8 for me, that's concepts. Like why don't people do this now? Like I would choose my eight
Yeah.
mains versus your eight mains. Let's go. You can't do it. It sucks. But I loved doing that back in the day, and I'd always like challenge anyone to my eight because I always found 1v1. Like I'd not be always the best, but if I had my eight versus yours, I'd probably win. You know, I used
Yeah.
to be
Over
confident.
time, I can get you.
Yes, and I'd always put my favorites like at the end to try and get them at the
Yeah.
end. So
It's more of a psychological like strategy battle than it is
absolutely
technical. Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So did you have like a Tekken main? Do you think, or did you just try
Eddie
everyone?
Gordo.
Oh wow, yeah,
Eddie Gordo. Loved Eddie Gordo. He's a cheap character, kind of. He's a little cheap, but I just loved, and that was why I loved him because I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I just beat the shit out of. Sorry, I don't know if I
yeah,
can
you
swear
can.
on
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, I would just trounce like my dad and adults because I'm using Eddie and I can spam that little like hand plant spin kick, breakdancing move that he does. I guess it's capoeira technically, but yeah, loved Eddie Gordo. Love his style of the green and yellow outfit. Killer.
Yeah, man.
Nothing like it.
Did you were you a fan of Tiger as well?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Not as much of a fan.
No.
Loses a little something there, but it's pretty cool. I'm not a big like 70s guy who's like the 70s aesthetic.
He was, yeah. I remember getting his ending and just figured this is the cheesiest but fun shit I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Gon's
Yeah.
ending as well. Oh my god.
Also like you go into Tekken 4 and like Eddie has this like sad story with like passing the torch to Christy Montiero. Like, oh, dude, it's like it gets real serious, but he's kind of, it kind of seems like a silly character, but then, yeah, sick, very cool.
He's always been so stylish as well, and yeah, do love me some Eddie for sure, for sure. But I remember seeing Eddie in Tekken, and then I never even heard of capoeira. Like that just seeing it, like just it's such a visualistic like fighting style, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
what is this? It's real. It's like I don't know about you when you were growing up, but generally here in the UK, like we have nothing to do. Well, we certainly did in the '90s have anything to do with capoeira. That's for sure. So
Yeah. I remember I have like a distinct memory of being in middle school and like looking up stuff about capoeira because I like Tekken. And I'm sure a lot of other people did the same thing, but I was like looking into it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. This is like a real thing. I think more people know about it now because I know there's like some UFC fighters that it's like some MMA people that incorporate capoeira a little bit, into their fighting. So I think some people have figured out about it. But yeah, back then it was like, I don't think anybody knew about that unless you were playing Tekken.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, same. I remember wanting, because I was a Hwoarang main back in those days. I moved on to Brian.
Oh,
I'm
great
now,
character.
I'm now Brian, but like back when I first
Okay.
like for my first like OG was Hwoarang, and I was like, I want to learn how to do Taekwondo. And again, in the UK, well, North Wales, I live in like a rural part of the UK as well. Nothing to do with Taekwondo here at all. It's like, oh, I can't learn Taekwondo. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, good times, good times. So yeah, I know you mentioned like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Was that how your path went as well? Did you go to PS2? And if so, what games came to mind with your memories then?
Yeah, basically after that it was PS2. I think once like the PS2 came out, it started to be like PC as well a little bit. I think that got sprinkled in there around that time. But like PS2, big games, I for some reason, whenever I think about the PS2, I immediately think about Eternal Ring. Did you ever play that game?
No.
I think it was a launch title for the PS2, and it was a FromSoft game. It was back when they made like the Kingsfield style games before they got into yeah, I guess they were making Armored Core back then too, but it was before like Demon's Souls and stuff like that. And you know, it was like a first person sort of like dungeon crawler style game, but those games were always like so scary to me when I was a kid. They're very like dark and like atmospheric, and I was just super attracted to those games when I was a kid. What else? PS2. There's a lot on PS2. A lot of Star Wars games. I was playing a lot of like shitty Star Wars games. Um, yeah, other Legacy of Kain games, more
Nice.
Silent Hill, more Metal Gear. um, Mostly stays the same. GTA, I guess, at this point as well. Guitar Hero, stuff like that.
Oh, I feel so old now. I think it was a few weeks ago. Guitar Hero turned 20. I was like, oh, don't.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was like,
jeez.
oh, my back's just gone. I was like, no,
Right?
don't say that.
Yeah.
I remember playing that, and I remember playing that in my local shop and playing. Oh my god, I've got to buy this, and I bought it. Oh god,
Yeah.
what a
Yeah.
game! What a game! Yeah. Oh goodness me. We need to talk about Silent Hill. I mean, again, especially as someone that's played it from the OG. Then, like, I mean, yeah. What are your favorite memories of Silent Hill series? Like, what are your favorite entries and stuff?
Um, yeah, I mean, I just remember I have like so many distinct memories. Silent Hill 1 on the PS1, it felt like, especially like with the cover and everything, it felt like a forbidden game. Like it felt like something I wasn't supposed to be playing. And it was terrifying, and I just remember like trying to hide that I was playing it, like playing it in the dark, you know, like under the covers and stuff, you know, like it was really it's very nostalgic in some ways, but just a series that holds up so well, so insanely well over time. I think my favorite entry to this day is still two.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of those games that just knocked it so hard out of the park. So early in the franchise. But there's certainly, you know, good cases to be made for one, for three,
Yeah.
for even four. You know, if somebody tells me four is their favorite Silent Hill, I'm like, yeah, listen, I'm not. There's a lot to love about
Yeah.
four. Four is awesome.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. It's always funny when you mention four to someone. You get like polar opposite responses. You get some people that say,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, absolutely," and you get some people that get, "What four?" I'm like, no, honestly, four is, yeah. I mean, is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I really enjoy four for what it is.
I love something about the, you know, sort of like the like stepchild of the series, you know? Like I
Yes.
love there's something so lovable about like a game that is grouped in with these like forever critically acclaimed entries, but it's just a little imperfect, you know? It's a
Yeah.
little ugly, it's a little like eh, and I there's something I love about those entries because, you know, it's like there's some beauty in that imperfection.
It's one thing I love about your videos, mate. I'm jumping again, can't help myself. But like, I love how you do take on all aspects, like the beauty and the beast, so to speak, of like a game. You know, the rough diamond edges that games do have. You really do take us through a journey with that, and I can imagine a video on Silent Hill 4 would be incredible to watch for that balance. I'd imagine. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I love the third entry. It's my favorite. It was terrifying for me. I was so scared of the third one. It just throws you into them all. Like, whoa, Jesus! And it's just relentless. It just keeps going. It's so fast paced and it's horror. And that's one thing that's really fascinating for me about Silent Hill 3. And it's horror. You, Resident Evil is fast paced for its action, whereas I feel like Silent Hill 3 is fast paced for its horror. It's like it's in your face constantly. So it's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Three is amazing. And I feel like three really goes I feel like three really keeps going where it feels like some of the other games kind of stop and they say like, okay, this is the end. Three feels like it goes even further, you know, and it's like I love media like that too. Like that's kind of my favorite. It's kind of hard to explain, but you know, there's certain movies you watch or games you play when you're like, oh, it feels like it should be ending here, but I want to see more. And I love games that are like, okay, we're going to give you that extra 10%. We're just going to show you, you know. And three, I feel like three does that.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, I do love them. Did you what were your thoughts on the Silent Hill 2 remake then? Have you got your hands on that?
I made a video on it called One More Time Without Feeling. And I had really a lot of complex thoughts about it. I feel like, to sum it up, that the two remake, it's like a weighing of scales. It does some things way better than the original does, but in those things, in improving those aspects of the game, it makes some other parts have less effect, in my opinion. There's a really great article that Gene Park wrote on the game when it came out, and he essentially said that, like, Silent Hill 2 remake is a more competent video game, but it removes some of the feeling of the original. So I think, like, even out, like, once those scales even out, it's essentially like on the same level, but it has less of what I originally loved in it, and I didn't really need Silent Hill 2 to be a competent video game. So I understand why people love it, because there are a lot of people that did need it to be a competent video game, and to be able to experience it fully. And for those people, that's great. But for me, I'd never really needed it to be super competent as a game, you know?
Yeah. We only talk about the rough diamond edges that, I mean, Silent Hill perfects that, doesn't it? Especially in its fighting system. Like,
Yeah.
and if you make it too polished, it almost becomes a different beast, doesn't it? So, I mean, I always, when I've talked about Silent Hill 2 remake, I think I said it on this podcast a couple of times now, actually, is that I've always kind of said that it almost like feels like the publisher's dream. It has replaced the original now. I feel like it almost like, that's one thing that Capcom have failed to do, I'd say, to a point, not in a good or a bad way, just in a perceptive way, to say that people still love the original Resident Evil games now, whereas I feel like it almost becomes, you don't necessarily need to play the original Silent Hill 2 anymore now, and I feel like from a publisher that's what they wanted to accomplish, whether rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, it's I say this about remakes all the time, but like, if the original version of the game is ported to modern systems, it's easily accessible, it's playable, I don't care what you do with a remake. Like, honestly, I might have the opposite opinion. If you make a remake, I don't want you to follow it too closely.
Yeah.
Because what's the point? You know, what's the point if the original is accessible and available? I want you to take some liberties. I want you to change some things. That was kind of the problem I had with the MGS3 remake that came out. I was like, MGS3 is everywhere. You can play it. I have it on Steam right now, and I'm playing the remake on Steam. And then it's just, this is essentially the same exact game. So it sort of goes hand in hand. And Silent Hill 2 is notoriously, it's not available. I know people like to say there's the enhanced edition and all that stuff, but most people, your average consumer, is not going to go through the effort to download the enhanced edition and patch it and stuff. Even though it's easy, they're still not going to do it. And so Silent Hill 2 Remake has become that the definitive version of the game, for better or worse, for most people. And I just wish that wasn't the case. I wish, if you're gonna make a remake, just port the game, put it out, you know.
Yeah,
get it out there.
Makes a lot of sense. No, that's fair, completely fair. Okay, so slightly changing tack then. So you mentioned Grand Theft Auto. Like, what's your relationship with the GTA games then? And yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I mean, I played all of them. I played all of them, and I played all of them a lot when I was younger. Because, I mean, when you're a kid and you're 12 and there's a game where you can blow up helicopters, you're going to be playing it, you know? But yeah, I played 3, San Andreas, Vice City. I played all of those a ton. 4 was the first game I played on the PS3. And yeah, I played them a lot. I have like distinct memories as a kid of playing. We'd play GTA together, like with my friends a lot, and we'd all like pass the controller every time we died. And I remember all of my friends would, you know, just run around and like blow stuff up and get their wanted level super high and then like die eventually and then they'd pass it. And then once I got it, I was like, I'm doing a story mission. Like,
Yeah.
why would I want to I want to beat the game, I want to play the
Yeah.
story missions. So I think, yeah, I don't know. I just always had that affinity for like, I want to play the video game that they have made for me, not just run around and shoot stuff, which doesn't make me like better or anything. I think it was just like, everybody hated me for it anyways. They were like, come on, just blow stuff up.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like GTA 5 is the perfect example of that, isn't it? Like the majority of people are playing GTA Online now, aren't they? And I've never touched it. Like I've only played through GTA 5 purely for the stories and the missions, and it's fascinating to see how. Again, I feel like that concept has definitely become more modern and more normal, should we say? And it's sad because the same would apply to Tekken, as we just talked about Tekken before, haven't we? Like, people will just play online now, and it's like, well, I just want to do the stories,
Yeah.
and the stories became shorter and less relevant, and it's like, oh, I want to know this person's ending. I want to know what happened to them if they won the King of Iron Fist tournament. It's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I think that, yeah, you're right. That just goes for the whole industry now too. Like the emergent storytelling that you get from a sandbox, I think is probably more valuable to a modern audience. With things like survival games and Minecraft and like online play things, battle royales and stuff like that. Whereas like a crafted set piece has always been more intriguing to me because, in the GTA example, like what am I going to do? I'm just going to like blow up another like police car, but like in a mission, I might be able to hit like a sick jump with like a bomb on my car and like jump out and parachute or something, something crazy might happen. I want to do that, not necessarily just like blow
Yeah.
up a bunch of cop cars.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It's so true. So, okay. So you mentioned PC. So you made that transition into PC in your teenage years. Was that like permanently the thing? Did you do much multiplayer games online? What's your relationship with the PC then?
It was like, it was off and on like when I was younger. I really wanted to play PC, but we just like didn't consistently have a PC. And even when we did, it was sort of like, I don't think my dad really wanted to buy PC games. I think he was more like, no, we're just going to buy console games. But I always wanted to. I think I have a really clear memory of the first time I, I had gone over to a friend's house and he was playing a game on his computer. And I was like, oh, what are you playing? And he was like, oh, it's called RuneScape. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, and he started typing. And I was like, what are you type? Like, you're typing something? And he was like, yeah, I'm talking to this guy. And I was like, what do you, I was like, you could talk to the NPCs? And he was like, no, it's like another person. And I was
Right.
like, what? I was like, wait, it's a real person is playing this game with you and you're talking. He's like, yeah, he could be on the other side of the world. I don't know. And I was like, I had to play it immediately. I was like,
Yeah.
I need this. I need to be able to communicate with people in a video game. It was a revolutionary idea at the time. And yeah, I just remember, like, I know that stuff was going on the PS2 and, stuff, but it was way less accessible. And so yeah, I was like fully in on the idea of PC games, especially like MMOs. When I was a teenager, I played a lot of MMOs. My dad and his cousin played a ton of Final Fantasy 11. And I remember wanting to play it with them so bad, but they were like, you cannot handle this. Like, it's just not. And I was like, darn. But now looking back, I could not handle that. I don't even know if I could handle Final Fantasy 11 now. That game is like excessively like grindy and difficult. but we did all end up eventually playing a game called Last Chaos. It was like a free Korean MMO that was just like terrible, and it's still running today. Actually, I kind of want to do a video
That would be
on like
amazing.
revisiting the first MMO I ever played. Um, but yeah, it was also terrible and like grindy. You had to like kill panthers in the forest for like 40 hours to get, to a certain level to be able to do this dungeon or this next quest or something. It was crazy. But I played that a ton when I was like a teenager.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, I love the. I love fascinating with bad games. It's true. There's a certain charm in them, isn't there? So clearly, if you played so much of it, there's definitely something that has kept the hook in you, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah.
So just speaking about that as a topic, then. So is there for you again? This is normally an interesting question to ask most of my guests on the podcast, but for you, because you've done literal videos on it, like, is there like a king of the worst video game you've ever played? Is that a possibility for you, or if not, just say some games that come to mind, I suppose.
Oh, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Um, Honestly, I think it's all relative, right? And I try to get this across in my videos too that like, I'm going to be way harsher on a game that's bad that had like a $10 million or like whatever, $50 million budget, that had hundreds of people working on it, that had the full potential and opportunity behind it to succeed. A marketing machine was running it through. Then I would be a game that was made by one guy. You know what I mean? It's funny, it's bad, whatever. We can say it's not very good, and I can give some critical advice, but at the end of the day, like the game that had all of the ass behind it to succeed is is way worse,
Yeah.
because it could have, the potential was there. Um, so yeah, I mean, I honestly think like some of the worst games and that come to my mind are going to be like bigger budget titles that
Yeah.
succeeded, or just like I generally have way better opinions of a game that a solo developer made and just put out on Steam, because at least they were like trying, especially if I can tell there was effort put behind it. But like a game made by a big studio that even was just like annoying to me is going to be way more offensive. Like I immediately think of like God of War Ragnarok. Like I hated that game. I just detested that game. I don't know why. I really don't like open world like I call them node collector games. I'm sure there's like a term for it, but games where you go around to like each objective and you like complete it and you like hold square or you like fight six monsters or whatever. I just really hate those games. Um, yeah, stuff like that I guess would probably be the worst games I've ever played. If you want like actual worst, non-functioning, terrible, I literally think it was either one of two games. There was a game I played recently called Pizza Shop Simulator, which is in my newest worst Steam games video. It's just like full of AI,
Ugh, yeah.
and just like really bad, like sort of like cash grabby sort of thing. And that was just, I mean, it was like laughably bad. And the Game of Thrones King's Road game, that was like it came out on mobile, but it also came out on Steam.
Okay.
It was just horrible. It was
Yeah.
also sort of a node collector game, but also like a mobile game, but also like a timing parry like like hack and slash game. Just just awful, terrible.
Goodness. Yeah. I like what you said as well, like about solo developers. Like I recently, well, I saw it when it came out, but I've recently revisited Choo Choo Charles, the indie horror game,
Oh
um,
yeah, yeah.
which was a solo developer, and like it got critically panned, but there's so much charm in in it that, again, fans played it. Critically, it was quite a badly received game, but fans still are talking and playing it, even though the game came out, I think, about 3 or 4 years ago now. And that for me is the definition of a good bad game, if that makes sense. Like, I love that idea.
That was like the horror train game, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I watched a video interview with that guy, and he used all blueprint from, I think it was Unreal Engine or maybe Unity, but that's like you don't even have to code. It's like their node system to like make it easier for people to develop too. So like, yeah, it's like a perfect example of like,
Yes.
just, you can do it. You know what I mean? If you actually put effort in, you can make what you want to make,
100%. And I remember seeing parts of, like, he was saying that he's learned so much from YouTube. He's literally learned how to build the game, a lot of it, through knowledge of YouTube, which, again, I think is a fascinating thing. Like, YouTube is a fantastic thing for that. Like, people learning how to play guitar on YouTube and stuff like that. It's what a tool, we've got here in that respect. So, yeah, it's a fascinating thing.
Yeah, definitely.
So, have you been someone that's been, like, over the years, like a trophy hunter, achievement hunter, that type of thing? Does that come into your being, so to speak?
I wish I was. I try to be. I really wish I was. I just don't. I don't think I have the patience for it. If I really love a game, then I'll get all the achievements just because I want to keep playing it and I need like a reason in my head to keep playing it. But yeah, I think like I've tried so many times throughout the years, and there was a phase I went through when I was in like high school, a little bit after high school, where I was trying to get like platinum every game I played and stuff. And I don't know, like there's something about it. Like sometimes I'll get to the point where I have one trophy left.
Oh yeah.
And I just don't finish it. I'm just like, I'm done with this, I just can't. So I'm just, I guess I could say I'm like an amateur trophy hunter, but I'm very bad at it.
That's fair. Oh, completely fair. So, one question I've got is, obviously, I haven't actually asked you this question. Is YouTube like your sole job? Do you have other work on side on top of that? Is your full-time content creation?
Yeah, it's my full time. I've been full time, I think, for like 3 years, something like that. 3.5 years, maybe.
Incredible. Yeah. So, so my question from that then is, what are you playing right now, and how much of that I suppose is then for work, and then how much of that is then just for off time, downtime, that type of thing?
Let me go to my Steam. I'm playing a lot right now. Actually, I don't cover a lot of new games, but I think comparatively to the average person, a lot of video games. I play a lot. Actually, a game I'm trying to get the platinum on, I'm trying to get all the trophies on because I loved it so much, was Dispatch. I just finished it the other day. Oh,
I need to play it.
So good. So good.
Oh, okay. That's a recommendation then.
Fantastic, man. Like I can't say how good this year. I can't say enough how good this year has been for games.
Yeah.
Like every single time I've played a game that I wanted to play, it's made me question what my game of the year is. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's Death Stranding 2. I know it's Death Stranding 2. And then I play another game. I'm like, is it Death? I don't know if it's Death, Yeah, I've been playing that. I've been playing both Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 1 and 2 because I'm working on a video for 1, and then I'm going to go do 2 after that. So I've been playing those. I've been playing Arctic Eggs, which was a game developed by the Water Museum. It was a little indie game about like cooking eggs in a not post-apocalyptic, but like dystopian future world. Really interesting game, really good art style, really, really cool. Just like good writing, stuff like that. No, I'm Not a Human. I've been playing that.
That's my game.
Have you played that?
Yeah, I love that game. It's my game.
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, okay.
I haven't finished it yet, but it is. I like it a lot so far. Really love the art style. That publisher, Critical Reflex. I think they also put out Arctic Eggs. They put out Mouthwashing. They put out Buckshot Roulette. Just banger after banger.
Yeah, killing it.
What else? I've been going back and playing Disco Elysium again because I did a review on a game called Rue Valley that came out recently, and It's a very similar style, and I just it made me want to play Disco Elysium. Yeah, there's a million. There's a million games I'm playing right now. I actually do a series on my Patreon every month called Media Report, where I sit down for like an hour and I just talk about every single thing that I've consumed for the previous month. So I keep a list of every movie, book, game, album, everything that I
Nice.
consumed, and I just talk about all of it very
Love that.
briefly in sort of a casual way. But yeah, it's pretty fun.
That is awesome. Fair play to you. And speaking of your Patreon, I know that I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I loved your retrospective of the whole series. I know you've been watching all the terrible films as well on your Discord.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I have a couple left. I think I have two more animated movies left. But I did watch all of the. I watched all of the Paul W.S. Anderson movies. Thankfully, I did it with a buddy of mine, so it was kind of fun. I think if I had to watch those movies by myself, I would have just been pissed off.
Yeah. Oh goodness me. Yeah, yeah. Let's say no more about them. So let's talk about the content creation side of it then. So how long have you been making content for? And was it YouTube? Was it something before YouTube? What was the steps and the situations that led into that? Okay, this is where I'm going to now create this content. Yeah, how did it all start for you?
Well, I think it started a little bit into COVID. So I guess I've been making content for about 4 or 5 years ish. During COVID, I was doing like some freelance work, remote work, and it had kind of dried up, so I didn't really have anything to do, and I was just sort of very unbusy, mostly unemployed, you could say. You
Yeah,
could you
yeah.
could frame it that way if you wanted to, that I was unemployed and not doing anything. But yeah, I was just at home a lot, and I was playing a lot of video games, and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I saw Tim Rogers' Action Button Reviews video on Tokimeki Memorial, and it really just kind of changed the way that I looked at like covering games and like games journalism and games reviews. I never really considered the fact that like a video game review could be so personal before that, that it could be like that level of like personal and open. And so I was like, I want to, this is what I want to do. I want to try doing this. So I decided to try making videos. So I made a video about this game called 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. And if you watch those first few videos, you'll definitely notice some Tim Rogers style. You maybe could even say I was just straight up doing a Tim Rogers impression. It's a little embarrassing, but is what it is. Yeah, and I sort of made videos on and off for the next like year. But really, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make this like a love letter to Legacy of Kain, which is the series I just loved since I was a kid, and I just felt hadn't got enough attention. And so I was sort of getting my abilities together. I was going through my training arc, if you will. I was, figuring out how to edit, write, all that stuff, so I could make this Legacy of Kain video. And then I made that video, and it did very well, some would say. And yeah, here we are.
Incredible, incredible. That's so good.
Now I'm an old person. Now I'm an old guy.
How does it look for you then in terms of like the processing of that? Like, do you have the game idea first? Like, do you script? Do you play the game first? Like, what's the process for you like in terms of making a YouTube video?
It's always play the game first. You know, play the game as much as I possibly can, get footage, and then kind of while I'm doing that, I'm vaguely taking notes. I take very minimal notes while I'm actually playing the game because I don't like to disrupt the experience. I feel like it's if I'm more in my notes than I am in the game, then it just doesn't feel genuine. So I take like big idea notes is what I call them. Like I sort of try to jot down like framing ideas that I have. Like, oh, this is the big idea about this game. This is the big theme that this game's trying to get across. If I come across those things while I'm playing the game, then I'll write those down, but not much else. And then after that, I usually go back through my footage, watch it, and take notes. Try to jot down some quotes that I really enjoyed or some shots that I think get across the beauty of the game pretty well. Then I do research. I try to find old interviews and take a bunch of notes on them, and try to find old quotes that talk about the development process. And then I write. I write the whole script out. I edit it, record, edit the video, put it out there.
Incredible. God, there's so much. I salute. I do. I genuinely salute people who make YouTube videos, especially people like yourself, and obviously, you know, some of the mutuals we've spoken about before, like Sean's, and then I finished a video game, and especially those long essay videos. They're incredible, retrospective, just masterpieces as far as I'm concerned. Just because there's so much effort that goes into them, it's unreal, and you know, just thank you for doing those video essays. Like, they are incredible.
Thank you for saying that. Appreciate that.
So I've got a question from a previous podcast guest for you. I just realised I didn't say this. I normally tell you before what it is, but I haven't actually told you. This is completely on the fly for you. I apologise. But a previous guest has asked this question for a future guest, which is yourself. And that question is, what has been the hardest part of your content creation journey so far, and how did you overcome it?
You know, so people ask me for advice. Sometimes people ask me for advice, send me DMs or pop up in live streams, stuff like that. And I try, you know, I always notice people giving advice, and they're like, it's like stuff that you can find in a YouTube video. You know, it's like, you got to make your thumbnails engaging. It's like, yeah, everybody knows that. Come on. But I always try to give people advice that like they're not going to get anywhere else. And I think the biggest thing for me that I had to deal with for a while was don't just become a cog. You know, let's say you do find like a rhythm with your channel and you really enjoy it and you really, really love making content. Like, I had to overcome becoming a cog and just sort of like working through that rhythm and just churning stuff out, you know? You don't forget to put yourself in what you're doing. And that was what I had to learn over years of doing this. Was there was just certain times where I got into this rut where I forgot to put myself into it. I was just making the thing to put it out there. And yeah, you can't forget to put yourself in there.
Yeah. I mean, you hear about a lot of like writer's block over the years, you know, with authors and even film writers and stuff like that. I'd imagine it'd be a similar concept probably for the type of content that you create, where you just have this like, yeah.
I mean, I've never really had trouble with writer's block. I can always write. I can write a bajillion words for the end of time. That doesn't mean they're going to be good. You know what I mean? When they aren't good, it's usually because I'm forgetting to put myself in there. I'm just writing this like sort of bland, like it's like a technical document essentially. You know what I mean? It's a video game manual without yourself in there. Once you put yourself in there, it becomes it's about you. You know, it's about you and the game and that relationship. That's why I cover video games. That's why people cover video games, because it's the only medium where you have to physically engage with the piece of art. Like, you can watch a movie without ever physically engaging with it, but a video game, your hands are on the controller. Your hands are on the keyboard. You're touching it. It's tangible in a certain way. So trying to capture that relationship between you and the game is like, that's the most important thing. And if that's not in there, you didn't do the whole job. And I've made videos where it's not in there, you know, and it is what it is. But because you can't always capture it, it's difficult. And at least for me, it's ethereal. It just goes away sometimes, you know. But
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's like lightning in a bottle, isn't it? You got to just try and capture it where you can, because you just don't know when it's going to come again, I suppose. You know, see where it lands.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't asked you this yet. So, your favorite son? What's the story behind your username? I love the beginnings of your videos. Hey, Dad, it's amazing. So yeah, tell us about that if you don't mind.
Um, I think the actual genesis was that I was making like a username for something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe in like an online game, and I made it your dad's favorite son because I thought it was like funny, like I killed you. I'm your dad's. You're not his favorite son. I am. Kind of a stupid thing, but then I was making a YouTube channel, and I think it was too long to all appear without like the dot 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 or something,
Yeah.
and or like maybe I read a thing that said don't make it longer than this because it's bad for the algorithm or whatever. And so I was like, okay, I'll just make it your favorite son. And I thought about it for like a few days, and I kind of realized like I really liked it because it kind of captures, like if I call the audience dad,
Yeah.
then I think it kind of comments on and captures this idea of the relationship between a YouTuber and their audience,
Yeah.
which is that you're seeking as a content creator on the internet, you're seeking validation from them. You're trying to impress them. You want them to be proud of you, and so I think the whole concept of the channel is kind of looking at that idea and commenting on it and saying like, that's essentially what I'm doing. I'm trying to make this thing so that you guys like it and that you're proud of me. And when you're not proud of me, it feels bad. And when, you are proud of me, it feels good. And, maybe that's a healthy relationship. Maybe it isn't, who knows?
I love that. I love that. I know this podcast is coming out, in January, February time, but like for those who don't know, this has actually been recorded on International Men's Day. And being
Oh,
being a dad myself, I love that concept. I just absolutely love that concept because I have three kids and like over the years, obviously, they're in their teens now, but they talk to you and seek approval and talk about. And as dad, sometimes you're like, that's great. Sort of thing.
yeah.
Sometimes you're like, wow, that's absolutely amazing. Sometimes they're talking absolute like gibberish, but to them, that's not gibberish. To them, that's the world. That's everything to them. That's everything that they like. Dad, I'm loving this thing. And my kids are gamers as well, so they will talk about games that I just don't care about sometimes. But equally, it's like that's the thing. They got a bit between the teeth. They're talking about it, and it's their passion and it's their love. And I love that. I love that story. That's wonderful.
Yeah. 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 It's just this weird, we've talked about parasocial relationships a lot in society. Like we've talked about this idea that you can get too attached to a content creator, but we haven't really talked about what it's like from the other side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we haven't really talked about what it is like because, and I think it's important because so many people are content creators now. Like, it's become a valid job. It's become, like a very valid hobby. Like tons of people make videos online, but we still act like it's not really something that we should explore. I'm not saying it's bad or anything. It's just I think it's interesting that we are sort of so seeking from the audience, and yeah, yeah,
Yeah. What's that
just
like,
there.
if you don't mind me asking, if you can elaborate on that, if you don't mind, like in terms of like, it was a very interesting time, aren't we, in terms of YouTube and Twitch, obviously I'm more on Twitch, you're on the YouTube side of things, but like, I think there's a common trend on both sites or just social media in general when it comes to, there's a downward trend in terms of like viewership, following, you know, there seems to be this, and I've seen this a big thing over the summer with a lot of YouTube content creators kind of talking about the fact that things are going down, and there is that element of like, goodness me, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? What's going on? Like that headspace has got to be quite hard to kind of combat, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I think you know, I worry for the people that, maybe like went full time, yes, right before this happened, and then, their income got below, what they could really afford, and they're having to go through difficult times. It's I think it's certainly not good. But I think at the end of the day, YouTube is a creative endeavor, especially when you're making like long form video essays or like, whatever, talking about something you're passionate about. It is a creative endeavor. And I think, I've always told people this. The first thing you need to do before you start making YouTube videos is find out if you love it. Because if you don't love it, then there really isn't a point because odds are it's probably not going to be financially like a financially responsible decision. So you need to be able to do it even if nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Just kind of the ironic thing about what I was just saying about my name. But yeah, it's, if everybody stopped watching tomorrow, I think it's almost habitual that I make videos at this point. Like it's some sick ritual that I'm doing. So like I don't think I could stop even if I wanted to. It's just there's things in me that I like the things that I'm talking about and the analysis of games is just stuff that I was doing with my friends before YouTube. Like I was just talking to my friends about these sorts of things. Like we would play a game and then we would just talk about, what it did well and what it did poorly and these like sort of nebulous concepts about video games. So I think, yeah, you have to love it. And I know that doesn't help some people that are not in good financial positions because of it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I answer that?
Yeah,
I felt
yeah.
rambly.
No, but I answered it perfectly. Yeah. And I love that because I think that's one thing that does bring, like, again, from the Twitch side of things to YouTube together, like, the love for it. It's the love for it, isn't it? Like, would you be doing it to one person? And so many Twitch streamers, from the purple side of things, they that is an interesting question because some people I generally don't think it could, never mind do. Whereas the amount of people that are still doing that, I'm doing a stream, see who comes up, say hello to that person. That's one viewer. That's made my day. That means that one person chosen me. I'm going to just play this game for me, but also thank you for that one person that's been watching me play this game for the last 3 hours. And that's the love for it, isn't it? And I think it's a similar concept in terms of you're making a YouTube video that you find interesting and that you find a fascinating topic or a certain take on the topic itself. And if you find an interest in it, there's a hope that others will too. So I love that.
Yeah. I made a video earlier this year about strategy guides that was easily my highest effort video I've ever made. I put a ton of money into that video. I put a ton of time into that video. I love that video. I think it's probably the best video I've ever made, but it just didn't get a ton of attention because it's just not like a topic that YouTube wanted to push very well. And it was a little experimental and kind of weird, but I love that video and it still got some views and all of the views it got, like people were writing me like passionate, huge comments about like their experience with strategy guides and stuff like that. And, I really appreciate the time that the people took to watch it, that did watch it. And, it's still, there's still value to be found in that. You know what I mean? Even if nobody watched it, I think it was the best thing I ever made. And that helped me in some way. It added to my life in some way as well. So even if nobody's around, it still affects me.
That's what it's about, isn't it? That's what it's about. Oh, I love that. Got a couple more questions. And then we're at the end. Oh my God, what's happened to the last hour? This first question is, I can see some stuff behind you there. What's some of your favourite video game related collectibles?
Collectibles? I got, you can probably see up there's a BB pod. Oh, well, if I can figure out how to do this, I can't do it. It's up there. It's over there. Yeah, there it is. There's a BB pod from Death Stranding up there. I really like, it lights up actually, if you click on it. Nice. I love Nendroids. I really enjoy them. I know that they're just Japanese pop figures, but they have like, there's more heft to them. They're better made. They have like more changeable, customizable things. I don't care. Yeah. And there's a Toki. They made a Tokimeki memorial Nendoroid that I have up there,
Nice.
of Shiori Fujisaki, I think her name is. I really like that. And I have I did a sponsorship years ago for Figurama statues, and put me on a pre-order for a Silent Hill 2 statue with Pyramid Head. And it's huge and it's massive, but it's still not out yet. It's been like 2 years. So I think I will really love that when it finally gets to my doorstep.
Oh man, I want to see that. I want to see that so bad. Incredible. Oh man. Okay, right. Final question then. So just a simple question. You have partly answered it, I think, already. But yeah, what advice would you give to anyone thinking about, making content creation, making a YouTube video? I know you've already kind of partially answered that, but maybe summarize it some way.
Yeah, I think I would just say, if you're thinking about it, just try it. Just do it. You have to just do it, and use that time to figure out if you love it. And if you don't love it, then it's probably not a good idea to keep going, because then you're only doing it for financial reasons, and it's probably not the best decision. But if you do love it, then just keep doing it no matter what. That was what I did. The first video I made, I realized, like, this is the best thing ever. I love doing this. I love the process of this. I love getting better at it. I love being creative with it. And then I just decided I wanted to do that probably forever. And so I'm going to keep doing that as long as I can.
Yeah. I love that element. I can't remember who said it, but I think someone said it on the podcast, in terms of, like, if your first YouTube video, your first podcast, your first Twitch stream, no matter what you do, is probably not going to be very good, and that's totally okay. But then the 10th one will be okay, and then maybe the 100th one will be excellent, type of thing. So, that I love that concept. You got to put the time and effort and love into it, haven't you? So,
yeah, nobody's amazing on their first try, especially when you're like making a video or even like streaming on Twitch. There's like 5 to 10 different disciplines within that one thing. With a YouTube video, you have to learn how to record, you have to learn how to write, you have to learn how to edit. Like, those are huge categories that you have to be good at right away. It's just not possible. You'll get there.
Yeah, incredible. Thank you so much. That was a wonderful chat. I'm so grateful for your time. I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Just one more time, do you want to tell us where you can find you on social media? And obviously you're on YouTube, so yeah. Yeah,
you can find me at Your Favorite Son. Search Your Favorite Son on YouTube. You can find me at, I think, YourFaveSon1 on Twitter. And something similar on Blue Sky, I believe. That's it. That's all I got. I think I have a Twitch, but I don't stream on there ever. So,
yeah. Oh, incredible! Thank you so much. What a chat that was. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching / listening. Thanks so much. I'll see you on the next one. Much love. Bye bye.